Love, it drives art, war, music, and madness. It makes people cross oceans, break hearts, and risk everything for something invisible, a feeling that can't be weighed, measured, or fully explained. But what is love? Is it chemistry, biology, evolution, or something deeper? A force that connects consciousness itself? We feel it when we hold someone's hand, when we hear their voice, when they smile and something electric moves through our chest that logic can't touch. Today, we're diving into the science, psychology, and mystery behind love. To understand why humans evolved to feel something so irrational, so painful, and yet so essential. Because the truth about love isn't just found in the heart, it's written in our DNA, the origins of love. Long before the word love existed, early humans experienced something we might call its blueprint: attachment. In the prehistoric world, survival depended on cooperation. No human could endure alone. Pair bonding, empathy, and emotional closeness evolved not from poetry, but from biology. Neuroscientists believe love began as a survival mechanism. When two humans bonded for protection, food, and raising children, their chances of survival doubled. Love wasn't romantic, it was strategic. But as our brains grew, so did our emotions. What began as simple attachment evolved into something far more complex: passion, loyalty, sacrifice. The chemical cocktail that once kept us alive began creating art, heartbreak, and everything in between. So when people say love makes no sense, they're right. It's a leftover instinct from evolution that turned into the most beautiful mistake nature ever made: the chemistry of connection. When you fall in love, your brain lights up like fireworks. In the first few moments of attraction, dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, floods your system. Your heart races, your pupils dilate, your appetite fades. It feels intoxicating because it literally is. The brain releases the same neurochemicals triggered by addictive drugs. Then comes norepinephrine, heightening alertness, obsession, and memory. That's why you can remember tiny details about someone you love. Their laugh, their scent, the way they tilt their head when they're thinking. As relationships deepen, oxytocin and vasopressin take over, the bonding hormones. They're released during touch, eye contact, and intimacy, cementing emotional trust. So love isn't just in the heart, it's an orchestra of biology, tuned by evolution to keep us close, faithful, and connected. But no chemical fully explains why love feels sacred. That's where psychology steps in, the psychology of love. Psychologists have spent decades trying to decode love's patterns. One of the most famous theories comes from Robert Sternberg, who described love as a triangle made of three parts: intimacy, emotional closeness and trust; passion, physical and romantic attraction; commitment, the choice to stay through time. Different relationships balance these parts differently. Infatuation burns hot on passion but fades fast. Deep friendships live on intimacy. Real, lasting love, the kind that endures storms, holds all three. But there's another layer: attachment style. Our earliest experiences with caregivers shape how we love later in life. Those who felt safe as children often love freely. Those who felt abandoned or smothered may chase or fear intimacy as adults. Love then becomes not just a choice, but a reflection of everything we've ever learned about safety and connection. The addictive nature of love. If you've ever had your heart broken, you know how physical the pain can be. That's not poetic exaggeration. Brain scans show heartbreak activates the same regions as physical injury. When a relationship ends, dopamine and oxytocin drop suddenly. Your brain enters withdrawal. You crave the person like an addict craves a drug. That's why breakups can cause insomnia, appetite loss, and even real chest pain. Love builds neural pathways, and when those bonds break, your brain grieves them like a death. But that same withdrawal is also what makes recovery possible. Over time, your brain rewires. slowly learning that love isn't just found in one person, but within your capacity to connect again. We don't fall in love once. We relearn how to every time our heart breaks and heals. The evolution of romance. Humans are one of the few species that form long-term romantic bonds. Penguins, wolves, and swans do it. But for us, love became something spiritual. Ancient Egyptians wrote love poems thousands of years ago. The Greeks divided love into categories: eros for passion, philia for friendship, agape for unconditional care. Medieval poets turned it into chivalry, while modern culture turned it into entertainment. But beneath all the stories, rituals, and songs, love remained the same primal instinct, the one emotion powerful enough to override self-interest. Love made us build families. Families built civilizations. Civilizations built the world. So when you feel love, no matter how personal it seems, you're experiencing a force older than language itself: the fear of losing love. Every love carries a shadow, the fear of losing it. Attachment and loss are biological twins. The same circuits that make us bond also make us ache when that bond is threatened. That's why jealousy feels like panic, why grief feels like drowning. Love demands vulnerability, the willingness to risk pain for connection. Neuroscientist Jaak Panksepp called this the panic grief system. It evolved to make sure we never wandered too far from those who keep us safe. So even heartbreak, painful as it is, has a purpose. It reminds us how deeply we're wired for connection. The ability to mourn is proof that we loved well. The love beyond romance. Not all love is romantic. Some of the deepest love we feel isn't about attraction at all, it's about recognition. The love between parent and child, between lifelong friends, between people who share a cause, a dream, or a belief. Psychologists call this communal love, the kind that doesn't seek reward, only meaning. When you hold a newborn, when you comfort a friend, when you forgive someone, those acts trigger the same oxytocin systems as romantic love. Our capacity to love broadly, to care for strangers, animals, even ideals, is what makes humanity extraordinary. Because love isn't limited to romance. It's the invisible thread that binds all empathy, all kindness, all hope. When love turns into obsession, there's a darker side to love, one that confuses connection with possession. When love becomes obsession, the same chemicals that once bonded us become traps. Dopamine rewards pursuit, not peace. Oxytocin reinforces attachment, even to toxic people. That's why people stay in unhealthy relationships, not out of choice, but addiction. In those moments, love stops being liberating and starts being consuming. But understanding that biology helps us reclaim power. Once you see love's mechanisms, you can step outside them. Love consciously, not compulsively. True love is not losing yourself in someone else. It's recognizing yourself through them. The Science of Soulmates. People often ask, are soulmates real? Science can't prove destiny, but it does show that compatibility is chemical. Some people literally smell better to us because their immune systems are complementary. Our brains are wired to recognize patterns of safety, humor, or familiarity that feel like home. That feeling of instant connection isn't magic. It's recognition at a biological level. But what we call a soulmate might just be the person who activates the best version of who we already are. Maybe soulmates aren't found. Maybe they're created through mutual growth, vulnerability, and shared evolution. The power of loving without expectation. The purest love is unconditional. Not because it ignores boundaries, but because it expects nothing in return. This form of love, agape, as the Greeks called it, is what drives sacrifice, forgiveness, and compassion. It's what parents feel for children, what friends show in times of crisis, what humanity displays in acts of kindness to strangers. In a world that measures worth in transactions, love remains the one thing that gives freely. To love without control is to trust life itself. The future of love. Technology has changed how we find love. Dating apps, digital relationships, even AI companions. We connect more easily yet feel lonelier than ever. Psychologists call it the paradox of connection. We've multiplied our opportunities to love, but weakened our ability to be vulnerable. As artificial intelligence learns to mimic affection, we'll soon face a strange question. Can machines make us feel loved? Maybe they'll simulate it, but true love requires something algorithms can't replicate: risk. The willingness to open your heart, not knowing if it'll be broken. That uncertainty, that courage is what makes love real. The final truth about love. Why do we feel love? Because without it, we wouldn't survive. Because every story, every family, every civilization began with two people who cared enough to protect each other. Love may start as chemistry, but it becomes meaning, the force that turns survival into life and existence into purpose. We feel love because it's the universe experiencing itself through connection. Because in every heartbeat, every tear, every act of kindness, love whispers the same message: you are not alone. If this video moved you, take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it. Not for the algorithm, but because someone out there might need to be reminded that love is worth feeling, even when it hurts. At the Mind Metrics, we explore what makes us human: emotion, consciousness, and everything in between. So until next time, stay curious, and remember, the ability to love and be loved is not a weakness. It's the greatest strength the human mind will ever know,